Hello everyone, event advice again. Me and Matt back in the old teal chairs, back in the studio. We've got another video for you today, which is 6 things that sponsors look for in events.
Teal on teal on teal.
I mean, we're all, oh, good point. I'm in all the shades.
You know,
50 shades
you can
of
only
teal.
see your arms and head.
It's a good job that you're in the white. Perhaps I should have had a little bit of an outfit change, but there, you know. It is what it is now.
What are we here for again? I didn't listen, I got distracted.
6 things that sponsors look for in an event. So how to drive sponsors to really want to come and work with you for your event.
So is this as obvious as sponsors want suitable audiences or potential buyers so that they can present their solutions? Or are we looking at how technology can facilitate those conversations for sponsors or that type of stuff?
I think it's both of those things.
All of the above.
I mean, I know you haven't seen the cards. I have seen the cards.
Yeah.
We might be touching on both of those things. So there could be a lot of useful event advice in this session.
Let's have a crack at it.
All right, let's start with strong brand alignment.
Okay.
So when you're going out to sponsors, when you're trying to identify sponsors or exhibitors that might be looking to come to your event, obviously they need some sort of alignment to what the event is trying to achieve.
Oh, so how relevant are the sponsors to the event?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess how would you...
There's 2 parts to that. If I'm running an event and I have an audience which there is also an opportunity for me to work symbiotically with other companies, and we're making sure that we're aligned in terms of different types of organisations all supporting that audience, then being really strategic in who there is the critical bit.
Yeah.
You then have the alignment from the actual sponsor perspective that if I'm at this event, I want to be positioned and represented true to my brand.
Yeah.
And that comes down to how they're represented through technology, but through the event itself. If you get that symbiotic relationship correct, then the audience are interested in your primary offering and each of the sponsors without it kind of diluting each other.
Yeah.
One another.
So if we take the second point that you mentioned there, so when, me as a sponsor, for example, wanting to come and attend your event, if you can't offer me the right things for me to showcase my brand, then I'm going to be a bit less likely to come and spend money to try and get to those attendees. So I don't just want a logo on a page somewhere. I want a bit more than that. The
audience are going to be absolutely great. And if you just turn up, we've got you in the corner on a table over there. So the audience are great, but what's my best foot forward with that audience? Now, your best foot forward is that you have matchmaking so that your targeted audience can be paired with your product service offering. It's an exhibition stand that really reflects your organisation in a space where you feel you're going to get good footfall, where you can meet the right people. It's in an app where you can present your video, showcase who's going to be there, brand it on the headers in the correct way, and have autonomy to manage that space yourself.
Yes.
It's those things and many other things.
And presumably, if I take our exhibitor portal, for example, giving you control over that, not necessarily like, you're paying a lot of money and just sending a load of stuff to an event organizer that can deal with themselves, and you're not sure of the outcome. It's like making sure that I have some value. Yeah.
Well, lead capture,
understanding
it, to have autonomy of managing that lead capture, assign potential targets, look at the revenue that your pipeline that you're generating through the trade show, look how Will Custard's performing against Matt Allen on the team in terms of appointments, in terms of revenue that's been kind of generated or pipeline that's generated around that trade show. Following up with, doing strategic follow-ups based on that information and the qualifying questions. All of that's really important to a sponsor. And not a given. Should be a given.
Yeah, it's funny,
it's
isn't
not
it?
a given.
Yeah, it's funny how I think, sometimes there's specialist platforms who, deal in just that, and they can get the exhibitor experience really, really right. But there's a lot of the sort of generic sort of, plonk a logo here, plonk a banner there, job done.
Yeah.
That's your sponsor package, see you later.
Yeah, brand is about getting the main brand right, but and enabling the sponsors to have their own brand within that ecosystem.
Yeah.
Badging's a great example. You know, having those rotating sponsors which showcase a brand, or being able to choose to have different branding on different kiosks dependent on the location at the event. So if you go into a sponsored area to get your badge, the machines are all branded a certain way for a particular sponsor. So,
well, I mean, we were at an event the other day, weren't we, where we sponsored a festival for a charity that we're involved with, and it was wonderful seeing the company's logo in the places, you know, next to the stages the bands were on the beer glasses that everyone was holding. It was
so exciting.
That's what you want, isn't it? You want to feel part of the event. You want to be seen.
Seeing our logo on Shillingstone Cricket Club sweatshirts the other day when we played them at cricket was really exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. So how about high quality attendees? Sharing demographic information, things you've gathered during registration potentially?
Here's a sample of the attendees that will be at our event. Look at the people you can meet. I mean, how much buy-in is there to that? I don't know. That's why it's so important that when you choose to sponsor an event, the content is aligned. So why are people there? The people are coming to listen to content, to be involved in content, to meet people. Just make sure that you are relevant to the audience. The content is linked to your kind of desired outcomes as a sponsor. And then the people will come, and the people will be the right people, and you'll be in the right place to meet with them.
Yeah.
Don't do it on a list where they give you 5 names at random from a list of 200,000 people that are going to attend, and you turn up and there's 300. It doesn't have to be hundreds of people for it to be relevant as well. Sometimes the best events are where you turn up and there's 8 of you.
Intimate.
12 of you, 15 of you.
Yeah.
You get to meet the right people. Don't be blinded by numbers. Be absolutely committed to talking to the right people that can help you, and there can be a genuine reciprocal relationship commercially.
Do you think it's important for event organisers to be able to demonstrate how successful previous events have been for sponsors?
Yeah, that's really important, to demonstrate and learn from what they haven't got right. As important as being able to brag about how successful it is, to learn what didn't work so that they can make the right decisions. Data is crucial to that, and accessibility of data, and the format in which it's in, so you can use it in a way that's not confusing.
As someone who's obviously approached quite often to sponsor events, to become an exhibitor, or just to sponsor events generally, do you feel like organisers are getting it right to present that they are getting the right people to attend that event, giving you that information?
Yeah, you need to know that the people that are attending are right, but if you focus on building a great event, the people will come, and then, it'll be spot on. So they just need to be focused on the content, what they're trying to achieve. When I speak to someone and they constantly talk to me about the people, what are you doing? What does the event look like? Tell me about your passion for your event. Because that emotional kind of passion for what they're doing will be reflected in what they put on. If they put on an event where people are happy and positive and in the right frame of mind, then they're more likely to be engaged. I'm really interested in what they're going to be doing. Don't tell me it's death by PowerPoint, because when they come out of here, all they're going to want is a coffee. Tell me you've got great sessions taking place where people are involved. Tell me about what you're doing afterwards, where there's a dinner, there's an activation, there's something really fun, chance to go and do this, do that. Tell me what state my potential audience are going to be in. Are they coming out of that room invigorated and then going, crowd comms, tell me what you're doing?
Yeah.
Or are they bored out of their brains and coming out of the auditorium and thinking, give me a coffee, give me some blooming headspace, and then I've got to go back and then watch PowerPoint for another 4 hours and want to kill myself? Tell me about what you're doing.
Okay, I mean, that leads us nicely onto engaging sponsorship opportunities. So making sure that you've got enough creative, interactive ways for those sponsors to take advantage of throughout your app, making sure that, you've packaged it up in a nice way to sell to people. That's important, presumably.
Well, it is. Well, positioning value is really key. And when we do that, we help organisers to position value of sponsor opportunities, whether that be on the badge printing kiosk, whether that's through the app, whether that's through pinned alerts, whether that's through audience engagement where it's sponsored. Live displays is really popular.
Yep.
Being able to pull through sponsors into digital displays that are stemmed and activated through the app. Being able to repurpose the kiosk as your digital display, because the venue's digital displays are costing thousands of pounds, and you can repurpose something you've got there and you've rented for the day already.
Yep.
There's a variety of ways that we can drive sponsor revenue. The thing that I like to do is, because before, our focus is always what are your outcomes, and someone says, well, we really need to drive sponsor revenue this year. It's going to be key to us doing the things that we want to do. So why do you want to drive sponsor revenue? What are the things that you want to do? Well, we want to go and do this boat trip in the evening with the delegates, because that'll be something that they really remember. Great, okay, so this is how the technology can support you with creating the sponsor revenue to deliver that experience that you want to do. Either through technology or promoting the boat club that want to do it, and they've got an opportunity to sponsor and be part of it, to collaborate in driving revenue.
So design packages.
Yeah.
You know, that as you're designing your event, think about if that's an important ROI figure for you, design some great stuff. And you know, we're good at that, aren't we? We do help people create those packages.
I don't want to say it too much, but there are definitely occasions where someone says, I'm not sure that I want the badge printing kiosk. That's fine. Let's do some designs for you. We'll show you what it looks like, and you can go out to 5 of your key sponsors. And I think you're going to generate 5x the cost of these kiosks. You're going to improve the user experience. Every person's going to get a badge quickly. They're going to get a beautifully designed badge. You're going to showcase key sponsors. You're going to have no queues. And you're going to drive 5x the cost of doing so.
Yeah.
But I'm so confident that you don't have to commit to the software. Take this software package and come back to us in 2 weeks when you've done it. They do come back.
Wonderful stuff. Clear ROI and metrics. So it's always important to, you know, when you are planning an event, you've got that figure in mind. You've got an idea of where your benchmark is.
Just say to a sponsor, how are you measuring ROI? I mean, how are they? That's where sometimes the answers get murky. Is it pipeline generated through lead capture? So the only way we're going to know if this is a success is if we drive loads of revenue. How's little Tony doing compared to Will on the show stand? How are you making sure that quality is adhered to on your show stand? How can technology help you identify who's doing well so that you can go and do training and education to make sure people are better prepared to drive the right type of pipeline? How are you measuring whether you've met that client before and it's another opportunity to have contact with them, and then 2 events down the line they're going to do use your technology? So sometimes ROI, I'm not understating, I'm not saying that it's not important, it really is, but it doesn't tell the whole picture, and it needs to be used alongside other things. You know, this is fluffy, but how did the event feel? Did you have fun? Did you have fun with new clients? Did you have fun with existing clients? Did you have fun with your team at the event? That's always quite high on my list when I go. If I'm sponsoring or exhibiting at something.
What do you call it?
Return on fun.
Return on ROF.
ROF.
We don't want ROI, we want ROF.
We want both. Roy.
ROIF.
No, so I think, yes, it's important, return on investment as a sponsor. You want to, but people often give it in, and I know we do it as well, we're guilty of this. 87 people clicked on your profile. 66 meetings were booked. Shows here you generated £240,000 of pipeline. 8 people clicked on the PDF and 37 people watched the video. See you again next year. Those things are really important, but they're part of the process.
Yeah. And, you know, rebooking is an important feature, isn't it? You know, you almost want to get, as you're running the event, you're getting ready for the next event, and you're hoping to have a successful outcome for these people.
Do you know why I hate rebooking teams at exhibitions?
Go.
Because they come to my stand and say, how did it go? How's it going? You look busy.
Yeah.
You look busy. Would you like to book again for next year? We'll lock in a price. It's only going to be 4% more expensive than last year. To which I say, I don't know how it's going. I just need to focus on what I'm doing. And so I really struggle with it. We have technology that enable you to go up to a booth and say, I can see that you've generated £400,000 worth of projected pipeline. Really interesting to see that Will Custard is absolutely flying because he's actually delivered 40% of your target that you set at the start that you wanted to achieve.
Yeah.
What's also really interesting is that your average deal size was £7,000 and the average assumed pipeline and opportunity here is 10, which means you're getting good quality as well as the kind of volume that you were hoping from. Compared to other stands here, you guys are actually 30% up in terms of meeting your event objectives. This is a really popular stand. Would you like to close it in because the metrics look absolutely amazing for you?
Yeah.
Is a much more powerful sell than, how's it going, Matt? Mate, just bugger off, please.
Yeah.
I'm busy.
Wait for a week.
Yeah. Give me a week. I need to get back and look at where we are with leads because all I'm seeing at the minute is that we've spoken to 74 people and there's no real outcome in terms of quality.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Tangible.
where data is really important.
Yeah.
That's where the ROI is also so important, to almost contradict what I've said about fun.
But ROI is such a loose term, isn't it? Like, in terms of everyone says it, no one can prove it immediately. If you can see it right in front of your face, literally real time, what you're generating, that's ROI, because you haven't had to do any work to figure out what the ROI is. It's there. You kind of know it, or at least you can estimate it.
Yeah, that's the whole point of technology, though.
Yeah.
Whole point of technology is about not having to do something, but to have the information or to have the benefit of the technology.
Yeah.
With limited work. Yeah.
Yeah. Super stuff. All right. Exclusive access or visibility. So, in terms of, I guess you're designing different tiers for sponsors.
Yeah.
Different access to different people, the best people potentially for them, personalized. So we talk about personalized content for attendees a lot.
Yeah.
Personalized experiences for your sponsors.
Yeah, it's interesting because when I go to an event and I can only access 10% of it, and I look up and I've got filter coffee, which I love, by the way, but I've got filter coffee and I've got some granola, and then I look out onto the terrace and people have got a breakfast to die for. I don't feel particularly warm and fluffy about my experience. So tiered sponsorship, I think, has to be done in a sensitive way. It might be a bit kind of blue skies thinking, because if you're going to pay lots of money to be involved in something, then you should be treated like a king. But I think it needs to be carefully done. And even in a technology, I think, platinum sponsors, the rest of the sponsors just go, bloody crowd comms, bribing everyone with a bit more money.
Yeah.
So I think having categories based on what interest it has to certain people, and again, that links to personalisation. This sponsor's really right for you.
Yeah.
Go and see them, rather than making people work because someone spent more money through sponsorship. I think you should activate sponsorship through being a badge printing provider, or being a key app provider, or maybe paying for a dinner, but I don't like the alienating of audiences. I find that a bit uncomfortable.
Actually leads us on nicely to the next one, which is going beyond the tech. So activations, I suppose, marketing activities for sponsors where they can, come outside the tech a little bit more, So litter picks, paddleboarding, tasting events, things like that. What would your advice be to incentivizing companies to get involved in something that's not just their booth?
Don't do it in a noisy bar, because you can't talk to anyone, and it's all seems to always be surrounded by alcohol. If you want to have people connect and collaborate, I think it being a little bit more intimate and smaller groups, for me as someone who finds sensory stuff a bit overwhelming, I find that more enjoyable and more beneficial. Try and do things that people wouldn't be able to do or do normally, because then it's a unique experience that they both remember, they get to share with someone, they remember who they shared it with, and that creates bonds that can go beyond business. I do things like paddleboarding. Be careful, because not everyone's going to want to put on a pair of shorts and jump on a paddleboard. So I think from a kind of being fully inclusive, have options that cater to everyone.
Yeah, I mean, maybe get an ice cream truck to come and visit for your sponsors.
For those that can't hear,
like
the ice cream man, he does do a pretty much daily trip to crowd comms. And I normally go out and treat people to an ice cream, but because I haven't done today, he'll probably do the bell again. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it, but
he thinks you haven't heard it, so he does it twice.
So I don't know who it was. It might have been you, but someone that I know, their dad used to say that when the ice cream music was on, he'd ran out of ice cream.
It wasn't my dad, but I know.
It was someone we know, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
I think
I
so.
can't remember who it was.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Oh, he's run out again.
Matt, he's out of ice
again.
creams. His music's on.
Well, I think probably before the ice cream man leaves, we should wrap up there and call it a day. So tell us what you want in the comments. Do you want a 99? Do you want a screwball? Do you want a Mivvy? I don't know what the other ice creams are called really these days.
The billionaire magnums that he has are nearly as expensive as their name, it turns out, and a 99, mate, don't even get me started. $3.99 for a 99. They need to change the name. It's a $3.99 now.
That's a dad opinion if ever I heard one.
Yeah.
Oh, 99s these. I remember when they were 99p.
Yeah.
Anyway, right, okay. Thank you very much for watching. Do the usuals, like, subscribe, and all the rest. But for now, we will see you again soon. Bye-bye.